you do good, we still see bad. Why? A relatively common question that I get asked by people is, HG, I'm sure I demonstrated that I was under control. I did X for the narcissist, which is a good thing. Yet, I was still mistreated. I was still told off. I was berated. I was given a sulk. I was ignored. I was bad-mouthed. I was triangulated. I don't understand. Why is it that even when I do something that is good for the narcissist, I'm still treated in this manner? What is it that's actually going on? I thought that if we were compliant, that if we were under control, then everything would be all right and there wouldn't be a problem. An understandable question, and also understandable as to why it causes confusion in people. You think, well, you have explained, HG, in your work that the narcissist either consciously or unconsciously seeks the prime aims of fuel, control, character traits, and residual benefits. Why then is it, when we provide that control, when we provide that fuel, the character traits and the residual benefits, and we are in effect doing everything that the narcissist requires, why then are we devalued in some shape or form? Why does that happen? Of course, this segues into the point that those that tell you that you can somehow fluff or placate the narcissist and therefore have a successful coexistence with us are giving you the wrong information. You would think, as a matter of logic, if what we require is control and fuel and you give it to us, then everything will be hunky-dory, surely. No. The contradictory and contrarian nature of the narcissist comes to the fore once again. But why is that? First of all, it is because you operate through the empathic perspective, and you don't have the narcissistic perspective. You don't see the world in the way that we do. And accordingly, even though, of course, you have access to my excellent material, this is not a substitute for having the narcissistic perspective. Simply put, you are not able to see everything that we see or hear everything that we hear or perceive it in the way that we do, and therefore, notwithstanding your best intentions to try and get it right, you never will, because you simply cannot see or perceive that which we see. In effect, you will continue to enter into a minefield without a map, and even though you might believe that you are aware of the location of some of the mines, you are always going to set some of them off. That is the fate that awaits you when you are dealing with our kind. That is why the first golden rule of freedom is once you know, you go, you get out and you stay out. You don't try and make it work with the narcissist. You don't try and placate us. You don't try and cater to the prime aims, because you will never ever succeed in getting it right all of the time. The first reason why you will not succeed in getting it right all of the time is that you are simply not us. And because you don't see the world in the way that we do, how can you know precisely what to say, what not to say, what to do, and what not to do? You just don't. So you're going to make those errors. You will inadvertently challenge us or wound us in some shape or form. Most of the time, our victims don't intend to challenge us. It's an inadvertent challenge to our need for control, either through the provision of challenge fuel or wounding. Yes, there will be occasions where you have become cheesed off, that you will invariably issue a challenge towards us by upbraiding us, holding us to account, and thinking, good, I pissed off the narcissist. I wanted that to be the case, give him a little of his own medicine. But most of the time, empathic individuals that you are, you want the quiet life. You're not there to cause problems. Empathic individuals operate in an unobtrusive manner, seeking to resolve disputes, the desire to heal and fix, to behave in a compassionate and decent way, the empathic traits of compassion and decency, funnily enough. And therefore, what you want to do is try and maintain a relationship which is harmonious, that is constructive, and you are not looking to cause problems. But notwithstanding those good bona fides on your part, you will invariably fall foul, because you will do things which will infringe upon our hypersensitivity to the need for control. So the first reason why, even when you do good and we see bad, is because you may inadvertently create a problem. The second reason appertains to changes in the fuel matrix and your status as white or black that you may not be aware of. Let's take, for example, on a Monday, that you, as the intimate partner primary source of a narcissist, decide to bake a chocolate cake. At that point, you are painted white, and therefore everything that you do is seen through the lens of being painted white, and therefore your positive gesture of baking a chocolate cake for the narcissist and providing it to him is viewed favourably. It is positive fuel, and therefore when you present the cake, the narcissism in the unconscious says this: the intimate partner primary source has provided fuel by this constructive and positive act of making a cake for the narcissist. This also signals that they are under control. There is no problem here. We do not need to bring them under control. They do not need to be punished. We just need to keep them under control. And because they're painted white, we will keep them under control with a benign manipulation of praising them. And accordingly, the narcissist says to the intimate partner primary source, "Thank you so much for making me that chocolate cake. It looks absolutely delicious. I can't wait to eat it. I'm sure it will be absolutely scrumptious. You're such a wonderful girlfriend. I'm so lucky to have you." And the flattered and pleased intimate partner primary source, particularly if they're now enjoying a respite period from the sustained devaluation, is not only pleased, they're relieved. And they respond in a gushing form. "Anything for you. I know that it's your favourite cake, so I just thought I'd make it for you." All is well. The narcissist has the intimate partner primary source under control. They don't need to be punished. Fuel is being provided, and the intimate partner primary source feels valued and praised. It's paradise again. Fast forward a week. The following Monday, the intimate partner primary source, empathic individual that she is, decides again to make a chocolate cake. And while she is elbow deep in cake mix, her phone rings. And it's the narcissist. She's left the phone in another room, so she neither sees nor hears the call. Her failure to answer the phone wounds the narcissist, because she neither provides fuel and she is, although not intentionally, seen by the narcissist as suggesting that he's not important enough to answer his call. He is wounded. His narcissism suggests that he asserts control by ringing her again, another Hoover. So he calls her once more. Still elbow deep in cake mix, she fails to answer. At this juncture, the narcissist does not have control over the appliance. He sends a text message. It similarly goes unanswered. There is no landline for him to ring, and therefore, short of leaving his office and driving round to where the intimate partner primary source lives, there is no way of him hoovering, and therefore the direct assertion of control has failed. Accordingly, his narcissism in the unconscious states, "The intimate partner primary source is not under control. We need to get control. Moreover, she is now painted black because she has wounded our narcissist 3 times. She has not answered the phone twice, and she has failed to respond to a text message." The narcissism causes the narcissist to make a remark to a colleague. "Can you believe it? I've just been trying to ring her, and she never answers her phone. Bloody useless." The colleague says, "That's women for you." And the response of that friend, of course, signals that he is under control, but also his agreement that women, pesky nuisance, enables the narcissist in his subconscious to feel that control has been asserted over the intimate partner primary source. This is the indirect assertion of control. In that instant, the wounding has faded because fuel has been received from a non-intimate secondary source, the friend, colleague, and control has been asserted over the intimate partner primary source by virtue of the indirect assertion. Accordingly, one would think that the matter rests there, but no. The intimate partner primary source remains painted black. She goes to her phone and notices that there's a text message and a call, but she thinks there's no need to respond because, looking at the clock, the narcissist is due to arrive home shortly anyway, and she'll just speak with him then. And besides, she wants to present him with the lovely chocolate cake as a surprise. The narcissist returns. When he enters the door, the intimate partner primary source comes up on the radar. The narcissism asks, is she under control? The answer, no, because there's no immediate information in that instance that she's under control. Moreover, she's painted black because of what had happened earlier that day. And although control was asserted indirectly, thus addressing the issue of control, she needs to be punished by the narcissism for her transgression. Accordingly, in the unconscious of the narcissist, when the intimate partner primary source appears in front of the narcissist, first of all, she must be brought under control, and she must also be punished for the earlier transgression. She presents the chocolate cake, a positive act providing positive fuel. This demonstrates that she is under control, so there is no issue there. However, of course, because she's painted black, the presentation of that cake is seen through the lens of black, and therefore, even though she has done something that would be described as good, from the narcissist's perspective, it is seen through the black lens and therefore can only be viewed one way: bad. This drives the narcissist, by seeing it in a bad way, to continue to assert control in a malign way and to punish her for the earlier transgression, because her punishment must be exacted to atone for what has occurred. Accordingly, the unconscious narcissism causes the narcissist to berate her by saying, "What have you made this for?" She looks puzzled. "Why have you made me a chocolate cake? You know Victoria Sponge is my favourite." This comment upsets her. Thus, she has been punished. She is still under control because her negative fueled tears signal that she is under control. She hasn't questioned why there is this volte-face with regard to his selection of cake, and thus the intimate partner primary source is under control, has provided fuel, and has been punished. The narcissism has done its job in that instant. Viewed externally, and of course in the mind of the intimate partner primary source, she is bewildered. Last week, I made him a chocolate cake and he loved it. This week, nothing's changed. And he says that he prefers Victoria Sponge. That's a lie. I know he loves chocolate cake. He's told me that before, and I know how he reacted last week. But of course, she doesn't know that she's dealing with a narcissist. She doesn't know that this narcissist compartmentalizes so that in each separate instant, the narcissist does whatever is required, driven by the narcissism, to achieve the prime aims. And here, as part of the control, there was punishment, drawing of fuel, and her status as being painted black meant that a malign action was meted out against her to assert control over her, to draw fuel from her, and to punish her. But she is left confused and bewildered because her good act has been seen as bad. And that is how the narcissistic perspective operates. So there will be many occasions where you do something thinking that it's good, but you are met with an unsavoury and unpleasant response from the narcissist. And the reason will be is that you have either done something to offend the narcissist's notion of control, thus necessitating punishment, or your status has shifted because something else has altered in the fuel matrix and you've moved from white to black without you even realising. And it is these almost mysterious changes that occur which mean that it is fruitless and futile to try to suck up to placate and appease the narcissist, because no matter how hard you try to do it, The fact that you will invariably offend our notion of control, resulting in the necessity of the assertion of control in a malign way with the punishment alongside it, and or the shift in the fuel matrix even though you've not done anything to cause it, results in you not knowing what your status will be, with the consequential impact of the behaviour of the narcissist upon you. And that goes to explain why it is when you do good, we see bad, but also for the purposes of getting you to understand that you should always obey that first golden rule of freedom. When you know, you go, you get out, and you stay out. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.